Previously on Mount Hua Is Hilarious. So Chung Myung reincarnated, he rejoined Mount Hua, but only to see it was just a shell of its former self. He retrained the disciples and toward the plan of his Zhongnan spy sent to destroy Mount Hua once and for all by stealing Mount Hua businesses and using money earned from that businesses to lend back to Mount Hua. But all his years of meticulous planning was in vain when he come across a walking menace in human form known as Chung Myung. So Mount Hua finally reclaimed back their businesses. But here's the thing. These people have been swinging sword on the mountain their entire life. They had no clue on what to do with the business. Chung Myung realized that it's only a matter of time before they return to being poor again. Luckily, he heard from his friend Chogul that they used to have this helper called Elder Wang. But he has been sick for a year now. Nobody even knows what sickness he has, not even the best doctors in the world. Just then, a letter from said Elder Wang arrived. What a coincidence. So anyway, an elder from Mount Hua asked Chung Myung to deliver this letter to the sect leader himself, since this is very important. This walking menace Chung Myung did the opposite. He opened the letter, read what's in it, and the sect leader has never even heard of the letter. So the letter was a request for Mount Hua's help regarding Elder Wang's disease. I'm guessing that they think since this is a martial arts story, if the doctors can't fix it, let's try asking Mount Hua. Maybe they would send someone that could actually beat the cancer out of his body. And as soon as Chung Myung finished reading, he said, "Oh, I could definitely beat the cancer out of this old man's body." So he head straight to Elder Wang's house in Xi'an. Now Xi'an is the land of the Zhongnan sect. It's enemy territory, but Chung Myung doesn't care. To him, this is pretty much his playground. Because in his previous life 100 years ago, he often came to Xi'an just to beat up the Zhongnan disciple for fun. No wonder they hated Mount Hua. So he reached his house, but Elder Wang already got help from the Zhongnan sect since they are closer. Zhongnan sent an elder, but this elder is also clueless about this mysterious disease. Chung Myung examined him and realized that he had demon cancer. Chung Myung tells his son that he can beat the cancer out, but the culprit is just gonna inject the cancer back again after he left. So, the first priority is to catch the culprit. Sure, let's not cure this dying old man that could die any day now. Let's catch the culprit first. Meanwhile, the elder of Zhongnan is really angry that this kid from Mount Hua has succeeded what he, an elder of Zhongnan, couldn't. Now let's change perspective, okay? So it's always my theory that comedy came from tragedy. Let's look at this from the perspective of the most tragic person of this arc. If you have read the series, you are probably thinking that the most tragic person in this arc is Elder Wang, since he's dying from cancer for a year now. But let's not do that, because if we look at this from his perspective, all we're gonna see is Stevie Wonder's perspective. Luckily, someone else's fate was almost as tragic as Elder Wang's in this arc. Not quite as tragic, but almost. So we will be looking at this from the perspective of Lee Songbaek. Lee Songbaek is one of the most promising talent of Zhongnan, a second-generation disciple of one of the greatest sects in the world. So, let's say I am Lee Songbaek. Right now, I'm following my elder on this mission to hopefully get an opportunity to get on his good side. I was hoping that by getting on his good side, he would probably teach me a thing or two about swordsmanship. Now, I finally see that opportunity. I see that my elder was angry at this child from Mount Hua. And it's not like he can personally do something about it since he's an old man. And an old man can't just go around fighting children, not unless your name is Chung Myung. So Lee Songbaek saw this as a golden opportunity and offered to take care of Chung Myung for the elder. Now, I have no beef with Chung Myung. I never met Chung Myung. I just consider him unlucky that he ticked off my elder. All I know about him is that he's from Mount Hua, the sect that I was taught to hate all my life. And he's the third generation disciple, which is one generation below me. So if you don't know, the way generation works in the world of murim is that each generation was supposed to teach the next one. So you got third generation at the bottom, second generation who teaches the third, first generation who teaches the second, and the elders who teaches the first, and the grand elders who are the highest of highs. And where is the sect leader, you ask? The sect leader is probably around the same generation as the elders. It's like the sect leader of Mount Hua is the same generation as Ungum. So back to the story. Lee Songbaek is out here thinking there's no way he's gonna lose against the guy who's the same age as his student. Remember, he never met the guy. Then he saw Chung Myung just walking with his arm behind his back. So I go to introduce myself. Hello, I'm Lee Songbaek, a second generation disciple of Zhongnan. And this ill-mannered bastard doesn't even pretend like he cared. He was like, okay. Which pissed me off. You gotta understand, this is back in the day, where it was common courtesy to respectfully introduce yourself back when someone introduced themselves, not to mention when that someone is older than you. But Chung Myung is actually 100 years old. He doesn't need to do any of this, but I don't know that. Lee Songbaek doesn't know that. So Lee Songbaek get angry immediately, but he immediately regained his composure. He realized that he shouldn't get angry at a child. The child doesn't know any better, but he does. So he proceeds with his plan, and that plan is to ask Chung Myung to spar, to teach him a lesson, and drove him out of the house. So in the world of murim, it's tradition that warriors spar with one another and learn from each other, especially since they are from different sects. That way they could earn perspective. They would also get valuable experience in fighting a different style from them. But this boy, this walking menace, is smart. Smarter than Lee Songbaek gave him credit for. Chung Myung immediately recognized that Lee Songbaek came for trouble, and he's not even afraid. Would you look at that? This kid is not so bad after all. So Lee Songbaek took a little bit of pity on the kid. He told Chung Myung, "Alright kid, you're right, I came for trouble, but if you promise to leave, I'll leave you alone." Things doesn't have to get physical. He felt proud of himself. Man, that's why I love doing the right thing. It soothes your heart. But then the kid was like, wait a minute, I thought we were fighting. Why do you keep yapping and yapping when you're the one who started this? Looks like you folk at Zhongnan usually fight with your mouth. Now Lee Songbaek is pissed. He tried to give Chung Myung a way out, but Chung Myung didn't take it. He's done his part. What happened from now on is on Chung Myung. The fight started. Lee Songbaek dashed straight for Chung Myung. They fight for a while, and Lee Songbaek has to think, can this guy see the future or something? He keep dodging and blocking everything. On more than one occasion, I saw him block my attack before I even attack. He must have got a mind-reading power or future sight or something. Lee Songbaek attacked Chung Myung over and over and over again, but Chung Myung keeps blocking. This frustrates Lee Songbaek so much that he actually gets serious. He put key into his sword, like magic. So Lee Songbaek thought there's no way Chung Myung could ever block this. Even if Chung Myung knows where Lee Songbaek will attack, the force from this attack will send Chung Myung flying. So Lee Songbaek charged at Chung Myung at full speed. And his friend who came with him yelled at him to stop and calm down, which he did just before hitting Chung Myung. Whew! And wouldn't you know it, Chung Myung still got sent flying. And if you're Lee Songbaek, you gotta ask yourself, wait a minute, did I do that? How? I thought I stopped it. No, I know I definitely stopped it. My sword didn't even touch him. Is God playing a trick on me or something? But before you could even organize your thought, Elder Wang's son has arrived, and he has seen you try to kill his father's only hope. Like you couldn't even try to cover it up. What are you gonna say? He flew to the wall by himself and started bleeding? What can you even say at this point? And then your elder who sent you here also arrived. He looked angry and disappointed at you for not doing your job right. He has the "you got one job" look. And Elder Wang's son is even more angry. But you know he's not about to fight you. So he sent everyone from Zhongnan out of his house. The Zhongnan elder told Lee Songbaek that he's not allowed to go back to Zhongnan until he fixed this mess. So Lee Songbaek has to stay while everyone else leave. It's actually the worst feeling in the world. Abandoned by everyone you know in a place where everyone hates you. You know that feeling? It's like being stuck in an orphanage. When you're abandoned by your parents and everyone there hated each other because you're essentially competing to get adopted first. So that same night, Lee Songbaek was sitting alone contemplating at what went wrong. Then he heard a commotion. He goes to check it out and he saw a guy dressed like a thief confronting Elder Wang's son. The boy you beat up earlier is completely fine. Wait a minute, how are you fine? I saw you flying into a wall and bleeding like a cartoon character. You mean to tell me that this dude has fully recovered from all that in less than half a day? But then you see his lips. His lips start doing weird shit, almost signaling something. You look at the thief, you look at his lips, and you figure it out. Oh, this is my chance to redeem myself. All I need to do is beat this thief, and I'm back in good grace. So he go put the beat down on the thief. Sorry buddy, I don't know what you did, but thanks for giving me this opportunity. This dude is tougher than he thought. It took everything he got just to barely beat the thief, earning himself back in good grace with Elder Wang's son. Lee Songbaek decided to stay there for a couple of days, wondering what the heck went wrong. How did things escalated that quickly? When he finally realized that he's been running circle in the palm of Chung Myung's hand this entire time. He immediately accepted. He got outsmarted by a smarter man. Intelligence is not his strong suit. Sword fights are. So he go to challenge Chung Myung again, because the last time, Chung Myung was blocking everything he had. He only won because Chung Myung let him. So Lee Songbaek goes to find Chung Myung, but this dude in the last few days that Lee Songbaek didn't meet him, he got fat. Like completely out of shape. Like how could you possibly gain that much weight in not even 2 days? Can you even fight in this state? But Chung Myung seems really confident that he can still beat Lee Songbaek. Lee Songbaek, however, after all these red flags, still think he could fight Chung Myung. He ignored every red flag there is, saying that this boy is the most capable boy in the entirety of the murim world. He came and solved a problem that the biggest merchant company in Xi'an couldn't do for a whole year in just 2 days. And Lee Songbaek still think that he can beat him. He's a complete idiot. He is a complete idiot. He is so stupid. But let's not judge too quick, because he has a trump card. His confidence is not completely baseless. He is really confident in his sect newly created sword art. He is this confident because his sect has created this new martial art technique that's supposedly way more powerful than the sword art that brought them to becoming one of the 10 great sects. So immediately, Lee Songbaek started the fight with this new powerful technique. Lee Songbaek looks at Chung Myung's eyes and he looked angry. Angrier than anyone he has ever seen. He's looking at Lee Songbaek like he's the guy that killed his parents and defecate on their corpses. He looks like he's about to rip his head off at any minute, because that's exactly what he did. He beat the shit out of Lee Songbaek. Lee Songbaek is knocked out for God knows how long, and the next thing he knew is that he is lying in bed, all wrapped up in bandages. All of a sudden, after Lee Songbaek wake up, Chung Myung starts asking questions about the new technique like he had a grudge with it or something. Then Chung Myung told Lee Songbaek to stop using it, and he goes on and on about this enlightenment crap. Lee Songbaek probably doesn't understand any of it, but he still plans on giving it up because he doesn't want to get beat up anymore. He doesn't want to take that beating again. It's the worst beating that he has ever taken. So he promised to stop using that technique, and then he finally sees Chung Myung smile. Man, I really feel bad for what Lee Songbaek has to go through in this arc. I mean, he's just a loyal soldier for his sect. He is just doing what he's been told. His only crime was that he met the walking menace in human form, which caused him to experience both physical and emotional damage in this arc. Unfortunately, this is where the video ends. Stay tuned for part 3 and peace, I'm out.